Good morning. Are y'all awake this morning? All right, good for you. Well, welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Greater Naples. I'm Bobbi Berglund. I'm a lifelong UU. There aren't too many of us around. And I'm also a member of this congregation. It's wonderful to have familiar faces here and some new faces as well, both in the sanctuary, out on the pavilion, and those of you who might be watching us on Facebook at home. Together, we strive to demonstrate our core values of peace, justice, and love daily in our personal lives and in our congregation in the community. We are a welcoming group, freely seeking intellectual and spiritual growth. And we welcome you all here this morning. I have a couple of announcements this morning about two new things that are going to be happening here at UU. Tomorrow, the new visual arts group will be meeting for the first time here at UU at 3 o'clock. And Ann Fullerton is the organizer of that group, so if you have some questions, you may want to check with her and find out exactly what the visual arts group will be up to tomorrow, but you will be most welcome. Come and find out. The second is that there is going to be dancing here at UU. How about that? Dan, our wonderful AV tech and also amateur professional dancer, and his partner Madison, are going to start dancing lessons here on August 7th at 7 p.m. in Thomas Hall. He said, come, enjoy, and just find out what dancing's all about. There'll be a variety of different types of dance steps taught over time. But you're most welcome to come, and if you've been wanting to know what people are doing out there when they go out, come and find out and learn a little bit about dancing with Dan. He's pretty good if you haven't seen him. He demonstrates a step every now and again. So that's it for our announcements, I think, this morning. Our minister, Tony Fisher, has just returned from a much-needed break. And we are fortunate to have one of our members, Janet Hoffman, lead our service today. Janet is a retired elementary school teacher. She's also a proud mother and grandmother. And both her son and her grandson have experienced our excellent religious exploration program here at UUCGN. Janet has served on many committees and led many committees here at UUCGN. So many that we would never get to her talk if we listed them all this morning. But right now, she's chairing the Worship Associates group, and she's also recently initiated something called Living Room Conversations. Sounds intriguing, don't you think? So she's a graduate of the Greater Naples Leadership Group, and she works throughout the community to offer her skills in volunteering to make our community a better place and a wonderful place for all of us to live. So in addition to thanking Janet for putting this service together, the topic is resilience. And boy, Janet, I have to tell you, many days I have really been looking for guidance on how to get up and get through some of the things, the challenges that you see. So she has lots of good ideas for us today. And we also acknowledge that in addition to Janet planning the service, it takes more than a leader at the pulpit to get this production underway. Our heartfelt thanks go to Dan, our AV tech, who makes sure that everything is working. Yay, Dan. Our music directors, Abby and Sean. The greeters, yay! The ushers, the hospitality team, yay! Anna Riazzi, who is our congregational administrator. And we'll have to talk with her about resilience. She must know a good thing about that. And many others who keep us moving through and making a wonderful place for us to be. So now let's center ourselves into this peaceful place and listen to our prelude.
Oh, won't you come to the circle, listen to our tales. You will find you're not the only one who's hurting, and the light will shine in. This is where we begin, the magic work of our healing. You are not unimportant, we need all the words and the melodies to harmonize. The darker the shadows, the brighter the sun, and the tears are the stars in our eyes. But won't you come to the circle, listen to our tale. You will find you're not the only one who's hurting, and the light will shine in. This is where we begin, the magic work of our healing. The magic work of our healing.
Thank you, Sean and Abby. Beautiful. This congregation is not a place. It is a people. A congregation is not built stone upon stone, held together by mortar, but rather person, linked with person, linked with person. All ages and genders and abilities. We are a community built on the foundation of reason, trust, and love. A congregation is more than a set of doors open on Sunday morning. It is a commitment of our hearts to opening doors of welcome, opening our hearts to love and compassion for each other. The congregation is a gathering together of all people with our experiences, our sadness and joys, our fear and calm, our love and hope. We say, come in, lay down your heartache, and pick up hope and love. For the congregation is us, each and every one of us, together, a beacon of hope and love to this world that so sorely needs it. Okay, please join with me in reading the chalice lighting response, which is on the screen and is also in your order of service. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within our hearts. May our individual flames flourish and grow, bringing love and support to each other and guiding us to greater peace. Thank you, Bobbi. Now, let's rise in body or spirit to sing our opening hymn, number 348 in the gray hymnal, Guide My Feet. The words will also be on the screen.
And I just wanted to say one quick thing. I don't think we've actually sung this hymn before in this congregation, or if it has been, it's been a long time. So if you want to just listen for the first verse, that's fine. If you know it and you're reading music, sing along, that's fine too. But yeah, you'll pick it up fast. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. Guide my feet while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. Hold my hand while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Race in vain. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. Stand by me while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race. Search my heart while I run this race. For I don't want to run this race in vain. Race in vain.
I want to express gratitude for all of you being here today, still feeling, still thinking, and still being human, despite all the difficulties that we face. I have been concerned about our well-being with the depth of adversity we have experienced for such a long time. There was a pandemic, hurricanes, war, and now ongoing chaos. In many people, I am seeing a sense of despair, which is an understandable result from the turmoil and overwhelm. Our nervous systems have been in a state of fight, flight, or freeze for a long time. And the tension and worry produces an increased heart rate and increased breathing and blood pressure. Our body releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. And this is our nervous system responding appropriately to the overwhelm with things like people losing their rights and their safety. This activation of our nervous system isn't a failure. It's our system saying that this matters to us, that we care. But having a nervous system like this for an extended period of time is not healthy. So I've been asking myself, what can I do to support my well-being and the well-being of others? And by well-being, I'm referring to physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being, as they're all interconnected and affect each other. Resilience, I'm calling the ability to cope with tough times. While being bombarded regularly with dehumanizing messages, I have needed stress management, a focus on my strengths, and living my values. I know I need a network of friends to support me. In times of diversity, I think we need to spend even more time than usual on stress management and building and strengthening relationships. In looking at resilience, it helps me to think about what I have control over and what I do not have control over. While I do not have the power over everything, it also means I don't totally ignore what's happening either. I need to learn how to navigate through this and use the power that I do have as a privileged person. I need to be clear about what I have control over, which includes my attitudes and my values. Viktor Frankl spoke about those who did better in the concentration camps. Everything can be taken away from us, but one thing: to choose one's attitude. And again, this does not mean I ignore those who are being dehumanized. It means I try to come from a grounded place and not a reactive place when I respond to what's going on. I need to pay attention to my inner self, to my needs and my feelings, while balancing what is occurring out in the world. In dealing with stress, one practice that has had a significant impact on me is mindfulness. While this has worked for me, each of us needs to find our own path for peace and inner growth. Mindfulness is the awareness of what is happening in the present, not looking at the past or the future, and looking without judgment. One way to practice mindfulness is through meditation. And at first, I didn't like it at all. I thought I couldn't do it. I thought I was supposed to empty my mind and have no thoughts whatsoever. I now understand that no one can be bad at meditation. Really. And I saw a Zen Buddhist monk do this. Can you see my hand raised? Can you hear me? That's meditation. So the essence of meditation is awareness. Our minds regularly produce thoughts. Meditation involves noticing those thoughts when they enter our mind without any judgment, and then returning to whatever we have chosen as an anchor, which could be our breath, our heart, a sound, a phrase, or many other things. There are many anchors, and there are over 100 types of meditation. Research shows that when meditation is done regularly, even for a short time, like a minute, it can change our brain. The gray matter concentration increases in the hippocampus. Our brainwave patterns change for the better. It strengthens the connection between different brain regions so they work together more effectively. And people tend to become less emotionally reactive and have greater increased mental clarity. And I tell people meditation works for me in the former way, but not so much in the latter. Research shows that people who meditate also show greater compassion for others. Meditation can be any length of time, as I said, even just a minute. So, as I mentioned, one focus can be breath. And so let's relax. Let's observe our breath moving in and out. And maybe feel our chest move up and down, or our abdomen moving in and out. Deep breathing, and especially elongating the out-breath, is a way to activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is for relaxation. So deep breathing can calm us down and is a healthy practice. There are many types of breathing. Let's take a few breaths now using just one type, if you are willing. You can close your eyes now if you're comfortable, or lower your gaze. And you can breathe at your own pace. I'll count, but you don't need to do it exactly like I do it. You need to do it how you are comfortable. But we're going to breathe in, hold it for a short period of time, and then if you can, try to breathe out even longer than the in-breath. And just do the best you can. So, ready? Let's breathe in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Breathe out. I'm sorry. Let's do it again. Let's breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you can do it. And let's try it one more time. So let's breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So thank you for your practice, and thank you for your patience if you didn't want to try it. So now, let's remain seated and join together in singing our centering hymn, Meditation on Breathing, which is 1009 in the Teal Hymnal, and the words will be on the screen.
So there are 3 parts to this that can be layered on top of each other, and you can actually move between the parts as you want to. And the first one is the drone, and it goes like this. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Again, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. The second is the melody, and it goes like this. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe. Try those together. And then there's a descant. It goes like this. You can keep doing that. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, I'll breathe out love. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. When I breathe out, Now let's all sing the melody. When I breathe in, I breathe in peace. I breathe out love. When I breathe in peace. When I breathe out. And now the drone all together. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. One more time. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Should all join the choir, definitely.
Yes. Our joys and sorrows is one way that we build community and provide mutual support. We share significant life events from our heart in a concise manner. This practice embodies the UU value of recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of everyone, as well as our interconnectedness. So please raise your hand if you wish to share, and Bobbi or I will bring you the mic. Please tell us your name before you share. Thank you.
Keep them away from each other.
Okay. And all right.
I was slow to raise my hand, but you still came to me. I appreciate that. Okay, well, I'm going to tell you what my joy is. Oh, it's so corny, but I'm not mad. I'm going to tell you. This right here. I'm so grateful for each of you for showing up today, and maybe we can talk later at coffee hour, but it's just really nice to be in this space, in this community with each of you. So thank you for showing up.
It's just so easy to be overcome with a sense of just overwhelming despair now when we see the cruelty that's happening across our country and indeed across the world. But I think each of us try to take a little snippet of something that gives us joy in this world. And yesterday I read something about that. I've been a little concerned about young people. Perhaps they're not as concerned about some of the issues that we are in our demographic, and I'm hoping that they see the cruelty. Anyway, I read about these two little boys that I think they lived in Washington State, and their names indicated that they were probably of East Indian descent. They were chess champions. They were 7 and 10 years old. Chess champions, and they had won several competitions and had acquired some money as a result. Well, these little boys learned about a 10-year-old boy who had an incurable disease, a pancreatic insufficiency, and they were concerned about him, and so the 7 and the 10-year-old boys made a decision that they would take all of the winnings, the earnings from their chess championships, and devote them to this little boy's care and to those of other children who needed this sort of relief. And so I was so touched by the fact that there are some really caring young people. When they were interviewed, the little boys said, well, it's not all about us. It's about others too.
Hi, good morning. My name's Steve Frediani. My family and I have a sorrow to share this week. On this past Sunday, my father-in-law, James Beebe, passed away. He was a great and caring man, and I just hope that my sons and I can follow his model. He was a really great guy.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Hi, I'm Joan Leary, and It makes me cry, but my friend Jane is moving, and this is her last Sunday, but it's been a joy to get to know you.
It doesn't, unless you would like. It's up to you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, one of the best parts of being in Florida, and I've only been in Naples for a little over a year, I'm a transplant from Wisconsin, and that's where the weather is cool most of the time. And I didn't know until I moved here that I'm a true Wisconsinite. And I'm way more comfortable in 60 degrees than 90 degrees. So, and I also have allergies, and I discovered that Florida has pollen high count 10 months out of the year. So I said, what the heck am I doing in Florida? I think I'm allergic to Florida. But that doesn't say anything about the politics, too. So my point is, you all have made this a wonderful experience despite the climate. So this is absolutely the best place, and I've met the kindest, most wonderful people here. I will miss you dearly. And I also, though, I think need to go back where my body is happy and my family is. So I will miss you. But thank you so much for your kindness to me.
She didn't tell the truth. She's really going back for the beer and brats. That too.
Hi, my name's Elizabeth Morell, and there are world movements that are interesting. There's a movement called Mind Valley Talks, and they plan to get a billion people meditating, which is amazing. And then there's another movement worldwide on compassion. And we're not alone. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. My name is Ralph Ryback, and I had the delight this past week to be in Westport, Mass, where my 3 sons and daughter celebrated my pre-85th birthday, which was, to me, a reckoning, but it was joyful, and I actually learned enormous amounts, and it was a total pleasure to be with family. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
You do it. May we hold all that was shared and all that was kept silent in our hearts. Spirit of life and love, we live in a fragmented world that tempts us to despair. We would put it back together piece by piece if it were ours to choose. But sometimes the fragments are enough. In a world of meanness, there is still power in every act of kindness. In a time of doubt, there is still power in every act of hope. In every time of doubt, there is still power in every act of kindness. In an age of division, there is still power in every act of unity. May we remember that sometimes the fragments of meaning that we make are just the right size to hold in our hands. And now let's sit quietly for a short time of reflection.
When we are singing, we are bound together. When we are sharing, we are free to be, both in our healing and in our caring. We are bringing change, we are making peace. Through times of trouble, through times of pain, we offer healing like a gentle rain, both in our healing and in our caring. We are bringing change, we are making peace. When we are helping, we can be our best. When we are loving, hurt is put to rest. Both in our helping and in our loving, we are bringing change, we are making peace.
Well, what I know of love when times are dark. If you can't find a candle, then light the wick of your wonder. Now might be a time to pray. But if you don't know how to pray, perhaps you're doing it right. What do I know of prayer? Only that every prayer that has saved me is a prayer that found me, rather than the other way around. A prayer comes through me, as if I'm nothing more than flesh in service to the prayer. And if there is a candle, then light it. And if there is a candle, then ask it to be your teacher. And if there is a candle, notice how far its light sheds into the beautiful world. The world is generously lit by a candle, just that far, holding back not even the finest measure of love.
In a time full of war, be peace. In a time full of doubt, just believe. Yeah, there ain't that much difference between you and me. In a time full of war, be peace. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Don't hide in the dark. You were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. La 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 la. In a place that needs change, make a difference. In a time full of noise, just listen. 'Cause life is but a breeze, better live it. In a place that needs a change, make a difference. In a world full of hate, be a light. When you do somebody wrong, make it right. Oh, don't hide in the dark. You were born to shine. In a world full of hate, be a light. La 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 Yeah, it's hard to live in color when you just seem black and white. In a world full of hate, be alive. In a world full of hate, be alive.
Thank you, Sean and Abby. Leo Tolstoy, and also Rumi, in maybe slightly different words, but a similar message, said, "Everyone thinks about changing the world, but no one thinks about changing himself." Well, earlier in my life, my ego did not want to think about changing myself. What is more important than changing the world? Who has time to change themselves? But my thinking often separated people into groups of us versus them, and I really disliked them. I held enemy images of people who had hurt me and of those who thought differently from me. I never considered why someone might have hurt me or thought differently from me. I never thought about their feelings or their needs or their hurts or experiences in life. I was never curious about them and their life, and nor was I humble. I felt I had moral superiority. And I could not think that I could just dislike their words or their behavior. I had to dislike their whole personhood. I could no longer see their full humanity. I did not just disagree, I dehumanized. And I was becoming more like the people that I disagreed with or hurt me. And I did not like that feeling. And while these were personal incidents, I realized that viewing society this way would not ever bring meaningful change nor resilience. Fortunately, I then remembered Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, and Gandhi, the significant change that they made through a spirit of love and compassion. Hatred does not bring lasting change to a community or the world. Thinking and feeling like I was did not bring me a sense of resilience. I was always triggered. Now, I try to pay greater attention to my own feelings and needs, which my family and society has not encouraged me to do. I am more accepting of life having painful moments also. With all that is going on, I have been feeling anger and grief, but I cannot let it consume me. I know it is important to process emotions and not stuff them or ignore them. But I also don't want to treat my emotions like they're VIPs and let them rule the show. So paying attention can mean feeling my anger or my grief and looking at it and seeing what I can learn from it and then letting it go. When I feel overwhelmed with negative emotions and thoughts, I can use strategies to calm myself, many of which you probably use. Things like deep breathing, taking a break, yoga, mindfulness, exercise, reading, walking, enjoying nature, talking to a friend, petting a cat, whatever works. Sometimes, to manage stress and anxiety, we need to have a timeout. Amanda Ripley, author of High Conflict, describes what she calls a state of flow as a mental retreat. It is a state of deep engagement, so deep an activity that time seems to disappear. For those of you not interested in meditation, this might be an alternative for you. Activities that can induce flow vary for each person. It might include gardening, hiking, painting, writing, yoga, biking, playing an instrument, cooking, or woodworking. I can find it in dancing. William Safford wrote in Cutting Loose, quote, "Sometimes from sorrow, for no reason, you sing. For no reason, you accept the way of being lost, cutting loose from all else, and electing a world where you go where you want to," end quote. Having moments of flow in the day and not feeling embarrassed or ashamed or guilty is necessary for our mental health and is needed more often now. Accepting emotional discomfort is a normal part of life that gives us resilience, but I do feel like we're getting more than our fair share of it now. Emotions strengthen our courage and our resilience. All emotions are messengers. They tell us about our needs and our feelings and values. Feelings can give us energy and can fuel meaningful action. Emotions show that we care and that we're remembering what matters. Naming the emotion and journaling about it can help. Feeling it without any judgment helps. Being compassionate and kind to ourselves is more important than ever. Finding where the feeling is in our body, which I thought was absolutely crazy at first, but now I realize it can help me. I think about the feeling and where it is in my body, my head or my chest or my stomach. Does it feel hot or cold, tense or tingly, diffuse or tight? Interoception is like a sixth sense that allows us to perceive and understand the internal state of our body. It is a skill for emotional understanding and self-regulation. Another practice is self-compassion, which would help me if I would remember to use it. Dr. Neff and Dr. Gurman have done extensive research and developed a 3-step process for greater well-being and resilience. Step 1 involves self-kindness, treating ourselves with the same understanding and care that we would give a close friend. I tend to be very self-critical, tell myself I'm stupid or shame myself for something that I did. but thinking, how would I talk to a friend about it, of saying, you know, we all make mistakes, or you were tired, or whatever, can be helpful. Step 2 is recognizing that suffering and mistakes are a shared human experience. Seeing it as a shared experience helps us to not feel alone. We all make mistakes and we all suffer. Being kinder to ourselves helps us to be more resilient and compassionate to others also. And step 3 is mindfulness, which again is observing our thoughts and feelings in the present moment without any judgment. For me, it has been through mindfulness that has helped me stay rooted in my values. Our society can be so full of hate that it's easy to follow that. I have to keep reminding myself what matters. What do I believe in? And I want to focus on love, the central value of Unitarian Universalism. With mindfulness, I am more able to look inside myself and see what matters to me, to act with love, and be responsive rather than reactive. I cannot manage all of the outer world, but I can choose my own responses to what is going on. I am more able to respond out of love rather than anger. Mindfulness grounds me and gives me strength. I am human, so I still make mistakes, and I don't always act in the most mature of ways, but there is a greater wholeness. With practice, I am more resilient, and I am hoping that each of you have either found a practice or that you will find a practice that grounds you in this very stressful time. We cannot control much of the outside world, but we can control our inner selves. Being resilient includes looking inward and finding ways to manage stress in healthy ways. It means connecting with others and honoring our feelings and values. It means giving ourselves love and compassion. We are then more able to express ourselves in responsive rather than reactive ways. Living with compassion and with joy in these times is an act of resistance. Let's resist.
Wow, lots to think about, Janet. Thank you so much. Well, the offering that we take each Sunday is an opportunity for us to recommit to this place and all that it embodies. It's as much a ritual as singing or lighting our chalice. Your generous support enables us to build greater opportunities for peace, justice, and love right here in our congregation and in the world. For those of you who are with us online, you may wish to send a check into the address on the screen. As you consider your gift this morning, think about the words in this poem entitled, "When Giving is All We Have." We give because someone gave to us. We give because nobody gave to us. We give because giving has changed us. We give because giving could have changed us. We have been better for it. We have been wounded by it. Giving has many faces. It's loud, it's quiet, it's big, though small, diamond in wood nails. Its story is old, a plot worn, and the pages too. But we read this book anyway, over and over again. Giving is, first and every time, hand to hand, mine to yours, yours to mine. You gave me blue, I gave you yellow, and together we made simple green. You gave me what I did not have. I gave you what I had to give, and together we made something greater of the difference.
Though days be dark with storms and burdens weigh my heart, through troubles wait at every turn, I know I can go on when sorrow heals my soul and burdens make me strong. Though troubles wait at every turn, I know I can go on. My sister in my heart, my brother in my song. Though troubles wait at every turn, I know I can go on. And though the journey's long, the destination is near. Though troubles wait at every turn, I know I can go on. So brothers, take my hand, and sisters, sing my song. When hope awaits at every turn, I know I can go on. I know I can go on.
We still have the capacity to choose our attitude. We can create our own meaning to life, no matter what is occurring outside. We can emphasize values by living them, by valuing the earth and all life on it. We can prioritize our connection with others. We can honor our own humanity with love and without judging. Our choices matter. Justice, truth, love, these only exist if we choose to honor them and if we choose to live by them, even when it is difficult. We can say yes to what affirms life and no to what diminishes it. So please recognize that you all are crucial. We all have some ability or some quality that we were born with. We may be the only ones who can give what we have to give. And so please share your special quality or ability your you-ness. Our choice to remain human, to preserve meaning, agency, and dignity in a space where efforts are being made to eliminate them, is an important choice. Please choose consciousness, courage, compassion, and connection. And remember, we are all in this together. So now, let's join together in body or spirit and sing our closing hymn, Building a New Way, which is 1017 in the teal hymnal, and the words will also be on the screen.
We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. We are working to be free. Hate and greed and jealousy. We are working to be free. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. We can feed our every need. Start with love, that is the sea. We can feed our every need. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Peace and freedom is our cry. Without you surely die. Peace and freedom is our cry. We are building a new way. We are building a new way. We are building a new way, feeling stronger every day. We are building a new way.
May we hold on to our deepest values. May we live with care and integrity. Our small acts of love to ourselves and to others spread light. Our quiet acts of kindness spread light. Every time we lean into the light, it grows. Let us go in peace and spread our light. Thank you.